Ottawa, we're saying congratulations to the rather gorgeous Jenson Button on his epic victory at the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal yesterday. Never mind pole position, this one will try any position once. It's Zoe Tyler! The only track she'd feel at home on would be the one on the set of Wacky Races. It's Sherry Houston. She's no fan of the Formula One, but she's certainly been around the block a few times. It's Denise Wells! And steering hour of this chat fest, enough to burn rubber and get me a speeding ticket. It's me, Kate Thornton. Joining us today, she's the actress who not only is a knockout looks-wise, but is actually knocked people out as martial arts by Cathy Gale. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of The Avengers, it's Honor Blackman! And his Corrie character, Graham Proctor, is lucky he hasn't been knocked out already by his girlfriend Tina. Wow, after what he's been up to, naughty, naughty. Ahead of his exit from the street tonight, it's Craig Gazy. Wow, look at the tans on you. Zoe, Denise, we've been on the roller days. How was it? Zoe, I haven't seen you for ages. How have you been?
No, I've been OK. I've been, you know, doing my little singing on a few cruises in the Med. It's a hard life. It's a hard job, you know, with a pina colada in one hand, you know.
I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh, were you? No,
how's Angus?
Oh, yes. Straight in there, Den. Yeah, no, do you know, we had a really nice... I went on to a cruise with no kids. Don't do them very often. But it was the maiden voyage, and we went on for 3 days, so we went on together, and we never have time together, really. And it was really romantic. We had... They gave us a suite and everything. Oh, we had a jacuzzi and a butler.
You did.
And it was really lovely. Yeah, we had a very nice romantic weekend away, which we both
so you're
deserved.
still all loved up
She
at
is.
last. Oh,
She's got that glow. Nice, nice. Hold on to it.
with the butler.
Not with the butler, Sherry. No.
Now, Den.
Got that wrong then.
I know you've been away, but...
Yeah, mine was not exactly romantic. It was a bit rowdy in Marbs. We just missed the Essex crowd, but there was quite a gang of us all went over, and I took Louis over, and I took my skating partner Matt Evers. Exactly. And it was so funny, the amount of people who saw us there and went to Matt, does Tim know you're here? As if I was going to sneak my partner over to Marbella.
Aww.
But he was quite happy not to be there because he was doing his clay pigeon shooting and stuff, so that was his thing. But I was trying to do clay pigeon shooting, yeah. Licence to drill. Anyway, but I was trying, because of my phobia about pool fun, I thought because I hadn't been away... Not pool fun, pool fun!
Yeah, I was going to have a word with you about this, because I opened the papers.
My thing about water, so I tried my hardest, because I hadn't been away with Louis for a while, to try and do pool fun, and of course we got some pictures taken, making it look like Louis wasn't there, of course.
Well, look, this is you having pool fun. I
was terrified.
Yeah, you look like you're having a terrible time.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I know, but I was absolutely terrified just on that little thing. But then we went on this place called Funny Beach in Marbella, and on this thing that spins around, and to everybody else it looks like a little slow thing until Louis got Louis got a hold of the stick.
So
is it on
here
there?
it is. Look, candid camera.
Terrified.
Here's Denzi doing pool fun.
Turn it.
What are you doing? Look.
Oh, that looks fantastic. Totally pathetic.
What I was actually screaming was, I'm going to punch your face in if you don't stop this thing. I want to get off. Admittedly, I'd had a few sherries the night before as well, so you can imagine how I felt. But it was it was a lovely holiday.
Well,
and I feel
well
well
done,
rested.
because you
I tried my hardest.
You tried
didn't
to
I?
play with your kids on holiday.
I tried to play with my child.
That's good. That it deserves
Thank
a round
you.
of applause,
Thank you.
everyone. Well done. Now, if you watch this show regularly, you'll know it's not unusual for one of us, or many of us, to be suffering from a bit of self-doubt. Plagued with it, I am. However, one lady who doesn't seem to show any signs of insecurity is Nancy Dell'Olio. In an interview at the weekend, the Italian lawyer and socialite explained why she thinks she's so special, saying, I am beautiful. I know I am fascinating. I am the kindest person I know. She also declared that her new boyfriend, Sir Trevor Nunn, says that she's the cleverest person he's ever met. Wow, eh? So, would her self-belief rub off on you? Do you think it's inspiring, or would it just rub you up the wrong way, ladies?
Do you know what? I think, and I include you in this, Kate, is that if you are the type of person like me that has self-doubt, no confidence, always knocking myself, always going back and going to the past and thinking, oh, if only that hadn't happened, what I think that's boring. And I think to meet somebody like that must be quite refreshing for somebody like you and I to be around that positivity. All right, some of it's delusional when people say, I'm wonderful, I'm great. What does it matter? But it possibly would make you feel good and take away your self-doubt. Not necessarily take it away, but make you around positive people instead of going, oh, yes, but you... No. I mean, it's really boring to be like me. And you, as you say. No, she does. Don't you, Kate? She agrees with me, don't you? To knock yourself like that is bad.
I don't see the good, I see the bad in myself, but not in others.
No, I agree.
I think there's a limit. I mean, I've got a friend who's a dear friend, and does come over a bit like, maybe not quite as much as Nancy's quotes there, but does come over as somebody who says she's marvellous, says she's great, actually has said the words, do you know who I am, which nearly made me... I just couldn't cope with it. But actually, this person is the most insecure person in the entire world. And if she could swap everything that she's got, which is quite a lot, for just knowing that her husband would stay faithful to her, she would give up everything. And actually, on the Nancy Dell'Olio front, I've only met her once at these magazine awards a couple of years ago, and I'd taken my eldest son, Matt. And Ruby Wax was fronting the show and said something inappropriate to the first guest who came on, which was a little bit out of order. If I repeated it, it would probably get a laugh, but this person had come over for a charitable occasion. And then Nancy Dell'Olio and I knew that we had to go on and present an award, and Matthew was being all protective, and he was sat with his arm around Nancy Dell'Olio, with the most random combination, even as random as her and Trevor Nunn, sat counselling her because she was so terrified. So I don't know whether that, because she gets so much flack from the press, and as I say, I don't know her from a bar of soap apart from that time. I think that might be a little bit of insecurity as well. But at the same time, I am surrounded by, including Sherry, people who don't have any self-esteem when they're gorgeous and don't have any confidence and say that they can't get a boyfriend. And I'm sick of going, just go up and say, I fancy you and I want it, and get it over with. And see what the comeback is.
Going wrong,
Here's where you've been going wrong.
It's not easy, though, is it, to do that?
Yes, it is. You know, when you talk about kind of delusion... When you talk about delusion, I think sometimes that's a safe and happy place to be. Yeah. You know, when I worked on shows like Pop Idol and X Factor, I think you've got to almost have that level of self-belief to put yourself through a process like that. So I'd meet a lot of people that were big on self-belief. And then you'd think, you know, part of you, well, you know, felt a bit sorry for them, but the other part of me was silently kind of, you know, jealous of their ability to kind of not see what we see. You know, Nancy says, I love to look 30 like I look now. Good on her.
Did she really say that?
She says that, and she says, and it's my goal to look 30 at 70. But
well, good luck, Nancy.
She also says she's gifted with her skin.
Well, but she does look amazing, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's what I mean. She sees only good things.
She does.
But she looks astonishing. Yeah. I think she looks fantastic.
But the thing is, I think, you know, I've also got a friend of a friend who is very confident. And now there's people that pretend to be confident because they're insecure. Believe me, there's no insecurity going on. And we'll have the conversations on our own, and I feel comfortable with her saying what she says. So, like, oh, I've got an audition next week. It's perfect for me. Perfect. They're looking for a really talented, beautiful, hot person, you know. And if it's just me, I sort of go, yeah. But then she also said it in front of another friend of mine, and I could feel them going, what? She's not actually saying this out loud, but she is beautiful, she is talented, so in her way, she's just saying the truth. But I also think it's very embarrassing, because we're English as well, we don't do that very well. You sort of feel like you want to crawl under the table because you're embarrassed for them.
I think the best thing is never to take your clothes off. Because, you know, you might go, actually, I'm great, I'm wonderful. You take your clothes and you go, oh, what's that?
Well, I was feeling confident the other day and I took mine off and Tim said, whatever you're wearing, love, it needs an iron.
Okay. Time for a break before we're joined by one woman who's got every right to blow her own trumpet. She's talented and beautiful. Honor Blackman will be here. But first, here's the talented bunch joining us over the course of this week.